Welcome to this week's assignment, homework number 2, a sample knowledge-based system. This week's assignment is to test our ability to use SQLite Manager, Clips, and a newly installed Python. This homework assignment will use a situation close to real life case to show you how the interaction between these three elements can be useful. We are provided with steps 1 through 6, I believe. Step 1 is to create a project folder called Insurance. As you see, I have the insurance folder right here that I created yesterday. The next thing the assignment asks for is to start SQLite Manager from a Firefox tool menu and create a new database called insurance.sqlite and store it in the project folder. To do this, like it says, we go to Firefox, maximize SQLite Manager. We will create a new one. To create a new folder, we go new database, we go there. Insurance is what we were asked to do. Hit OK. Alright. And that's the folder that I created yesterday. So as per the homework, we were then supposed to run the following SQL code in SQL managers to create the database table, tables from databases. As you see, this is the code that we were supposed to load into the SQLite manager, which I did. You hit run, and this is what you were supposed to come up with. You will browse and search some of the tables. The next step was for us to type into the enter SQL select from complete, which is the folder right here. You would hit run, and that was where you would generate the table for the four pieces of data. Step 4, we had to create a file, constructs.clp, which is a clip extension, by pasting the code below. Make sure that it is a pure text file. Show it under the project directory. So the code below is what you see here. And then the project directory is constructs yesterday. For step 5, we're supposed to install the newer version of Python 3.6 and download the Jupyter Notebook steps 5 and 7 and save it to your project folder and open the notebook. They have a couple of videos that are able to show us how to do this. So in this part of the document is where all the code's at. As you can see, there's multiple lines of code, and through Python it actually breaks it down. So in the first line of code, you're importing the SQLite code and into Python. The next one is you have to pretty much show the location of where the database is at. So the original location was where the doctor had it as, and we needed to change that to the location on your actual computer. So my location of the file was in downloads, insurance SQLite. The next thing you need to do is the next part of the code is actually connecting to the database and retrieving the records. So that was where you typed in on the previous screen when I showed you a select star from complete. Number 4 is you're converting the table to Python, which makes it easier for calculations. That's the benefit of the Python program. Step 5 is you're actually using the data. You're checking on the data frame, as you can see by the output of the in5 that's the data from, or the database from the first SQL program that we ran. For the next one, number 6, you're calculating the base price of the vehicles. As you can see, you'd use the data frame, which is the base price. To get that, it has a 400 plus 20 times the data frame, which is the displacement, plus 30, which is the log, times the max refund minus the insurance class. For the next one, you're calculating the For the next one, there's a printout that gives you the current date of when you run the program. Import date time. This is to calculate the new customer. Number 8 is to calculate the driver's age. As you can see, the driver's age equals now minus the customer's birth date, giving you the age of the driver. So for number 9, there's these are for some variables. As you can see, male would be M, female, customer gender, luxury, some different types of variables that you would be using on the data for the database. Same thing with number 10, the data frame. So below you'll see the data frame, which has new columns, which base price, new customer, driver's age, previous different than the previous one up above. As you can see. So for number 11, this is where we had to change a few other things. Same thing with the location. As you can see, now we're dealing with a fax text, which was different from before. Users, the location, downloads, insurance. Now there's an actual fax document, and you can see below that we inputted the initial tag fact. So this will be this. In addition, you also see some rows, power, displacement. These are for the vehicles and for the database. Max refund, driver's age, and so on and so forth. What was asked of us next was to go into Clips, load that fax.txt file, parentheses run the rules, and it would produce a different file, which was edited. That would create an edited file. We would then save the fax file as well, fax edited file. So in number 12, we would actually bring that fax edited file in, which you can see is open users, downloads, insurance, the fax edited file that was just created into this, and we would actually format it differently. And then number 13, data frame again. So this is the final results of the actual data that we've been I guess manipulating or formatting over the last couple lines of code. So just to recap, as you can see from the first, the initial one that we loaded, the data frame from the SQL file, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 rows or columns. And when you go down to the next one, after we did some of the manipulation, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 columns. And then finally, after the final manipulation, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 columns. So this has all been edited, consolidated, and gives you a more diverse data table. The last part of the assignment is to describe your degree of comfortableness with SQLite Manager and Clips and Python. I would say that my comfortableness, I'll start with the last one that we just started using, Python. I feel pretty comfortable in that one actually after having some time with the professor to go over what the usages were. Then again, we didn't get too involved with Python. We just kind of went through that one example. So I would say on a 1 to 10 scale, I'm probably at I'd say a 6 right now with Python. Clips, I would say I would say probably about a 5 with Clips. I know that I would like to maybe possibly write my own code or try to write my own code. That way I would be able to see the more of the issues as opposed to just the initial the loading of the code and the run and the def rule and stuff like that. So and then lastly with SQL Manager, I'd say I'm probably about a 6 as well with SQL Manager. I think there's multiple ways to use that as well. I mean, you can manually input stuff, which I know that's not the right way to do it, but that actually gives you it kind of gets you the database. But I know in the end, like I was explaining to me yesterday, if we're looking to create large databases or use large databases, manual input's not the way to go. So you'd want to write code and be able to use that code over and over again throughout your program. So I'd say it's probably around a 5 or a 6 on SQL Manager as well. Thank you.